Oh, yeah, Slovakia. Hold up, Slovakia. Hold up. All right, so for this video, for this video, I'm going to be discussing. Well, before I even say anything, I want to give all praises to the Most High. I want to give all praises to the Most High. And I know that without Yahweh Bashim Shah, that none of this would be possible. None of this. Me edifying y'all, the fact that this is one thing I had to think about a little bit, but the fact that like Yahweh, I know that he knew that the internet and technology it would advance to where it is now. And the fact that I'm able to make these videos and the idea of me, using this technology and the way that I'm using it right now to give y'all, this information is just it's very it's just, what I'm saying, it's powerful, what I'm saying, and it's something that we all needed in order to really help us, what I'm saying, be edified, even in our time of even in our time of captivity. What I'm saying, the fact that we're captive and we're not able to really, what I'm saying, do as many things as we could do, but we got to live in this captivity and really, really be able to help each other learn and grow and get edified, what I'm saying, through the spirit. Salakia. All right, y'all. All right. So in this video, this is one thing that I hear a lot of people, or not, I ain't hear a lot of people, but I know at some point that people have been, well, not even at some point, but let me get my words together, get my words right. Everybody has been lied to. Everybody has been lied to about there's just a lot of things in the Bible, a lot of things, not just who Christ came for, but also about what heaven and hell is. A lot of people. And in this video, I want to kind of discuss, those things. There's a few of those things to let you know exactly, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But firstly, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Because in this video, I did make a video, I think probably like a few weeks ago, talking about what you call it? Talking about hell, basically. I think it was a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago. So, but I made a video talking about hell and what hell really is. And just going based off that video, y'all should already know that hell is not underground. Hell is not some place that you live forever. Hell is not, where the devil has a pitchfork and Hades or wherever. No, that's not what hell is at all. And I'm gonna explain to y'all a few things. I'm gonna explain to y'all just a few things, and just bring up some certain arguments and certain things that really need to be talked about to really debunk this whole idea of what Christians have said hell is to be. You know what I'm saying? So, firstly, let me share my screen. I'm gonna share my freaking screen. Let me go to Luke first. Because the first thing I want to kind of talk about is the fact that people have said that Christ went to hell to get some keys or something. I guess to like fight the devil or talk to some what you call it? To talk to some people or preach to people and everything. But I'm gonna get to that later. But just to kind of first of all give just a few verses that cut. It's a quick cut, some quick cuts to how Christ is not going to hell. Because for one, it'll just be either somebody's being either something is being misinterpreted or there's a misunderstanding. And I feel like it's both in many different ways. The fact that people are misunderstanding what the word is saying and not understanding parables or not understanding the metaphors or some symbolic meanings behind like different words or different passages or different texts. A lot of people take everything so literal and not really understand exactly what's going on. Or it's people making assumptions and leading to a misinterpretation of something. So it's a lot of different ways that people could, get these verses wrong. They don't know how to really explain these verses in this Bible because of their misinterpretation and misunderstanding and miseducation. a lot of misses here, missing everything. You know what I'm saying? Missing the whole point. But just to kind of ask y'all, any of y'all people who think that Christ went to hell to get some keys or something, for one. So let me start in Luke 23. I'll start at verse 42. All right. So this is referring to the crucifixion, when those two men were beside Christ while he was being crucified and everything. And this is one of those men who talked to him. But basically, before he died and everything, he asked the Lord, like, hey, he told him, like, hey, remember me, you know what I'm saying? And then Christ told him, okay, you'll be with me in paradise, basically when you die. So we're going to explain all this and everything, right? So right here, first of all, what is paradise? What is paradise? Just for those who may not know. Paradise is heaven, right? That's what it should be, right? Okay, just get that clear. Get that clear. Paradise is heaven. We can even look it up. And even when you look up the Strongs and the biblical usage, look at the biblical usage that they have. Like, look, right here, when it says the part of Hades, which was thought by the later Jews to be the abode of the souls of Pewis until the resurrection. But some understand this to be a heavenly paradise. This just shows you the misinterpretations and miseducation of people and how people misconstrue what the word is saying. The fact that it's acknowledging the fact that people are saying that this is hell. It's acknowledging the fact that people have said that this is where Hades is, but Hades is a Greek god, for one. So does that mean that Christ he taught Greek mythology? Because if so, then that kind of goes against, that kind of makes God a liar, makes God, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like, why would God be on this earth? Not God, why would Christ, Yahweh Shah, be on this earth teaching Greek mythology when that has nothing to do with the word of Yahweh at all? Hades is not a real God anyway. That's a fake Greek god that y'all think resides in hell. That's that fake devil y'all think it has a pitchfork. Like, no, that's stupid. It's heaven. That's what paradise. Why would he tell somebody, oh, you're going to be in hell with me? What? Why would you promise somebody to be in hell with you? That doesn't make any sense. If anything, Christ, when he was on this earth, he was already in hell. Because one thing you got to realize is that hell can be a condition, and it can also represent like the grave. I think that's like Sheol. Sheol represents the grave. Because when you look up the ESV for certain passages and everything, it'll help you realize how hell is can be, like I said, represented as the grave. But I'm gonna get to all that though. But the main point is that paradise is heaven. So if Christ, Yahweh Shah, if he told that man that he was going to be with him in paradise, and go to verse 46, when he died, this is the red letter, he died, and he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And having said thus, he gave up the ghost. So basically, he died. He died right here. And what did he say? He said, Father, into thy hands I commend thy spirit. Meaning that he gave his spirit up to the Father, Yahweh. And also that paradise that was talked about right here is that heaven where the Father is at. So how can y'all sit here and say that Jesus, Yahweh Shah, he went to hell for 3 days? Those 3 days where he was dead, before he rose from the dead, those 3 days he was in hell preaching to people. He was in hell trying to snatch some keys from the devil. And once again, the devil is on this earth right now, roaming everywhere. Like, what are y'all talking about? Hey, so y'all want to talk about Hades and stuff? Hades, no, that stuff is not real. He said himself that he commended his spirit to the Father. So if y'all say he went to hell, that has to insinuate that the Father is in hell, right? That has to insinuate that. That's the only way you can try to work your way around to find a loophole to say how Christ went to hell because the Father was there. Because if he gave his spirit to the Father, but he went to hell for those 3 days, that means the Father had to be in hell, right? No, that's wrong. Y'all have a misinterpretation of the scriptures. As a matter of fact, let me just bring this up because I'm gonna prove a point real quick. I'm gonna just further dig your own graves for y'all. People don't realize how this scripture right here is a cut on 2 doctrines. This scripture, it can be a cut on many, but as of right now, I find it to be a scripture that is a cut on 2 doctrines. Hebrews 2:16 and 17. This is a cut on the virgin birth and this hell. The hell doctrine, where I'll say it's underground, and this it's a cut. It's a double cut, probably a triple cut. Because you can find many ways to use these verses to cut the crap out of Christians who believe in the virgin birth and that hell is somewhere underground. But look, I'll just start at verse 17. It says, "Wherefore in all things it behooved him," Christ Yahushua. So Christ, it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. So in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, meaning that however they came on this earth, because you can use this to break, like I said, cut and break down and expose the virgin birth. But for the virgin birth, basically he was made just like his brother, meaning that he was born through a seed. He was born through a woman and a man having sex, just like his brother. And also when he left the earth, he left just like his brethren, and how he died, where his spirit left and went to Yahweh. And that's scripture. It's scripture that when you die, your spirit, it goes to Yahweh. So then that would not only defy, or that would not only go against that verse, but go against this verse right here, where it says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. So that would just defy everything that God has made it out to be. How can you sit here and say that Christ, when he died, he went to hell, but he was saying that in this verse it says right here that everybody who dies, their spirit goes back to God, back to him. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. It cuts this is a whole cut on that whole hell, that hell is underground. No, it's not. Hell is beneath earth and just some places you burn forever. No. They say heaven and hell is somewhere you stay forever. You stay there forever, and you don't, you can never leave. You either in with God forever, or you either with the devil forever, with the pitchfork and everything. But for one, that's another cut, because if you're right here, and I'm gonna explain all this stuff later. Like I said, right now, everybody who's dead right now, they're with God right now, waiting on their judgment. They're at peace right now, but anybody who is dead right now is waiting on their judgment. And I'm gonna bring that up in the future of this lesson. But that's where he's at. That's where everybody's at right now who's dead. They're not in heaven. They're not in hell. They're with God right now. Their spirit is with God, waiting for the judgment. That's all it is. So let's continue. Let's go ahead and just continue. Let me see where I want to go. I'm gonna go to John. John chapter 5. Now start at verse 28. Because like I talked about, I said how basically everybody who's dead right now, their spirit is awaiting judgment. That's what's going on. And that's also another cut on what judgment day is. Because hold up. I don't know if y'all remember this video. I don't know if y'all remember this video. But this man had a video where he said, right here, this dude right here, this video right here, where
People ask me all the time,
Judgment
Chris.
Day. He convinced 100, and even me, I'm not even gonna cap. I watched this video years ago before I was in the truth. This proof that I like right here. I like the video. Let me go ahead and dislike it. I like the video. I watched this years ago before I was even in the truth. And I believe this man. I really believe that this Judgment Day thing, this Judgment Day vision, of how he was saying that, oh, there was people out there was like in a line or whatever, like after they died, they was like in a line or something, and they had seeds in their chest or whatever and all that stuff, and their body was like, you know, it was just it looked very translucent or whatever, and how they were all like being told their judgment or being told whatever the freak was going. First of all, y'all gotta think about this. That takes too damn long. That takes too damn long. When you just think about it, because I was like, hold up, you telling me that everybody's gonna be in a line waiting for their judgment? You know how long that shit gonna take? The fact that he gotta sit there and judge each and every last one of us, you know how long that shit gonna take? He gotta judge all his creation. When judgment is not like that at all. Judgment is not him sitting there having a one-on-one conversation with you and playing your past life and seeing what you did. That's not what Judgment Day is. God, he don't have to sit here and reiterate nothing to you. He doesn't have to sit here and reiterate anything you did at all. He doesn't. He's not going to sit here and you know, play a full screen video of, oh, remember that that lady that you didn't help? And it's like, my nigga, are you serious? Really? Really? These are one of those false prophets that I believe in. This shit got 5 million views. Because the world is not going to let no Hebrew Israelite video blow up and get 5 million views on everything. There's not going to be any Hebrew Israelite video on this planet that would just blow up and get 5 million views from an actual Hebrew Israelite. I'll say that. There can be videos in the future, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not in the future. There can be videos where there are people like celebrities who talk about the Hebrew Israelites and they'll blow up because of the fact that they have, you know, a high status in this world. So that goes to Ecclesiasticus, where I'm saying, like, when a rich man speaketh, everybody be quiet. They basically, they open their ears and they want to listen. They want to hear what you got to say because they think that what he's saying is very important. You know what I'm saying? Because they see them as an important figure in this world. So I don't know who he is. I don't think he's a very important figure, you know, because I ain't never really see him for like that for real. But this video was so, I guess, powerful to the masses that it got 5 million views. And people really believe that Judgment Day is gonna be like this. When y'all don't know he's lying to y'all, making y'all think, and then they put the music in the background to where it sounds so inspirational. It sounds so, like, you know, eerie and so scary. And it's like, man, that's a stop. But let's get back to this though. But that's not what Judgment Day is. That's not what Judgment Day is. Judgment Day is when I'm just gonna let the scripture explain it. So look. So John 5, I'll start at verse 28. 28. So right here it said, well, I'll start at verse 25. It says right here, 2 resurrections. 2 resurrections. So for one, no, let's read it first. Let's read it first, then I'm gonna make my point. But it says, verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they shall hear, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and have given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice. Talking about the dead. So everybody that's dead will hear Yahweh's voice, basically. So let's continue. And shall come forth, and they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. So, hold up. So I thought when you die, you go to heaven and hell forever. But why do you have to be resurrected? Like, make that make sense. I thought when you die, you either go to heaven or hell, and that's where you stay forever. But it clearly says right here that there will be a resurrection of the dead who are in the graves. It's saying that he's going to bring them back to execute judgment on them, whether they have a good judgment or a bad judgment. It's either the resurrection of life or damnation. So what are y'all talking about when y'all say that when you die, you either go to heaven or hell forever? That's it. No, that's not how it is at all. No. So that's cut. That's cut. That whole heaven and hell thing about you going to heaven or hell forever, that's a lie. Even in 1 Thessalonians 4, it talks about how the dead in Christ first. I mean, the dead in Christ, they'll rise first. Either way, how can you die and be resurrected if and only if you should go to heaven and hell after you die? Like, y'all make that make sense. Please. Make it make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's the whole cut on that whole heaven and hell doctrine that, oh, when you die, no, that's not, no. Oh, Salak, y'all, Salak. All right, Salak, y'all, Salak. All right, hold up. Trying to go find my next precept. All right, so now let's go to the next precept real quick. Just real quick. Because this is the verse that people use to say that Christ went to hell and he preached to the masses or whatever. Or he preached to those that were in hell. So look, for Christ also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust. So let us know that the just is Christ, that he suffered, for those who were sinning, basically, you know what I'm saying? So that he might bring us to God Yahweh, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went and preached to the spirits in prison. So for one, first of all, people have a misinterpretation of what prison is. When they see prison, they think, oh, that's hell, right? That's hell. That's what that is. That's hell. But look, let's see what it says real quick. Hold up. Guard, watch, keep watch. Persons, a place where captives are kept. Look, of the place where captives are kept. This is not talking about hell. Even look what this says right here. Look, of the time of night during which guard was kept, a watch, a period of time during which the part of the guard was on duty, at the end of which others would leave them. As the earlier Greeks divided the night commonly into 3 parts, so previous to the exile, the Israelites also had 3 watches in the night. Subsequently, however, after they became subject to the Romans, they adopted the Roman custom of dividing the night into 4 watches. So look, this is talking about Israelites being in captivity to Greeks and Romans. It's not talking about hell at all. This got nothing to do with hell. It was saying that when he was on this earth, he went to preach to them while they were in captivity. While he was on this earth, he went to go preach to those who were in captivity. Because at this time, we were in a sense, not like, an actual like prison, and not like an actual like chains and slavery and everything, but we were not in our homeland. We were not, back in our original land. We were not redeemed just yet in terms of us, you know what I'm saying? What you call it? Being on top. Because we're still, even to this day, we're still in captivity. To this day, we are still in captivity. We still got to pay taxes. We still have a lot of oppression and discrimination going against our people, which are the blacks, natives, which called Hispanics. A lot of things going on that's just very wrong to our people. So in a sense, we're in hell, but like I said, hell is not someplace underground. Hell can be a condition in terms of how are you being treated on this earth. So as of right now, this is the Israelites, for the Israelites, this is our hell. We're not on top. We're not we're not going through anything good at all. We're going through hell right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on to us. This is that prison. It's not talking about actual hell where it's like, oh, the hell that y'all say, oh, when you die, that's where you either go to heaven or hell. No, it's not talking about that. It's talking about that while Christ was on this earth, he was preaching the word to our people. That's why he went to the scattered nations, basically. He went to every nation to find his people and to preach to them about his word. Even when we were in captivity, even when we were in these, in a sense, figurative chains. Well, figurative and literal, to be honest, because of the fact that there were people who were actually slaves. You know what I'm saying? We were actually slaves at one point. But nowadays we're in like figurative chains. At the same time, could be literal too, because of the fact that even nowadays our people are and they fill the prison houses. So that's biblical too. So a lot of things going on when it comes down to us being in prison. That's not talking about hell. Y'all can't just sit here and assume that since it's talking about, oh, somewhere that you locked up, oh, that's hell. It didn't say anything forever anyway. Because even in hell, you're not even able to do certain things. For one, like, because I'm also bringing up certain verses that kind of talk about what hell really is and how the Bible describes hell. But if hell is a place you can't leave, then it's like it is, because all this stuff, like I said, all this stuff connects to what I brought up minutes ago about how there's going to be a resurrection. So these spirits, it's not talking about people who are dead or whatever, and that people who are that y'all just assume y'all connected, like, oh, look, a spirit in a prison. Oh, that means hell, right? No. We're in captivity on this earth right now. That's what he's talking about. That's what he's referring to. But also, even if hell is a place, if heaven and hell, I'll say that, if heaven and hell is a place that when you die, you stay there forever, explain to me why Moses and Elias was at the transfiguration of Christ. Explain that to me. And shout out to one of the elders that I watched and everything, because he said this is a great point. If heaven and hell is a place that when you die, you stay at forever, why was Moses and Elias or Elijah, why were they at the transfiguration of Christ? Let's go to it real quick. Matthew 17, not 187. Matthew, come on now. Just stay with me real quick, right? Right here. When it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not. And let's just go back to give like no context. So look, in the 6 days, and after 6 days, Yahushua taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up to a high mountain apart. So he's on the earth right now. So look, and was transfigured, meaning that his body was basically illuminated. He was transformed into a very spiritual light, a very bright light. As it says right here, it says it's in his face, did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yahushua, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. So if y'all know that basically like Moses and Elias, they were like prophets on this earth, basically. And they were like chosen people of Yahweh. Elias was a prophet. Moses, you call him a prophet. And he was the one that like he was a lawgiver as well, gave out the laws and everything. And in those laws were prophecies of what's to come if they don't keep the laws. But he was saying that basically like while they were on the earth, like, hey, can we like set up, a tabernacle for us and everything? And let's continue. It says, while he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved son, on whom I am well pleased, hear ye him. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were so afraid. And Yahushua came and touched them and said, arise and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man save Yahushua only. Meaning that basically, like, Elias and what's called Elias and Moses, they were gone. So continue. And as they came down from the mountain, Yahushua charged them, saying, tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead. And his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, like I just said. So Elias, he was already there. I mean, he was there before Yahushua. Yahushua came after him. But once again, if heaven is a place where you reside forever and you never leave, it doesn't make any sense. Because if Elias was in heaven, then why the freak did he came back down? It's like, oh, like, my heaven meter just kind of ran down, so I was able to come down for a little bit. Like, what? Dude had a heaven meter. He had a meter for how much time he could spend in heaven each day. Like, no. What are y'all talking about? Just think about this. If heaven and hell is a place where you reside forever and never leave, how come Elias came back down? This it's a cut. It's a cut. It doesn't make any sense, and y'all doctrines is stupid. It's dumb. And I already explained, what I'm saying, like First Peter and what it really means, the fact that we're in captivity right now, and that Christ, Yahushua, came to preach to us while we were in our captivity, while we were still lost, while we were scattered in our land, and we were scattered among every land and every nation. That's what it's talking about. So now let's go to Luke, because it's our y'all like this doctrine of hell and heaven it's already cut, but we're going to continue to go. Now a lot of people say that this hell was referring to Abraham's bosom or something. How hell is Abraham's bosom. First of all, that's false. And if you want to be literal about it, because a lot of people want to take the Bible literal. The Bible is not always literal. There are certain statements where it's very symbolic and metaphorical. But some statements are just right there in your face where there's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? But Luke 16, verse 19, the rich man and Lazarus. So people take this literal and think that the rich man and Lazarus actually had, an interaction. But this is a parable. As you know, Christ, he spoke in parables. So sitting here thinking that, like, because even the way it starts, I can just tell that it's a parable. Because it says there was I can just feel it in my spirit. That's just off like not reading anything alone. But even when I explain it, it lets you know how it's a parable to something. But people sit here and go down to this verse when it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. They think that Abraham's bosom is talking about hell or something or whatever, because of the fact that it talks about torment right here and everything. And it's like, no, this is not talking about heaven and hell. Or it is in a sense referring to the concept of heaven and hell, but it's different than what you think. So let me go ahead and explain it. So let's start at verse 19. Let's read verbatim. So there was a certain rich man. Now this rich man is Esau. And I'm gonna explain that. This rich man is Esau, which was clothed in purple and fine linen. So this represents wealth. Purple, that represents wealth. And fared sumptuously every day. So basically, this rich man right here, he's living life. He's living a lavish life. He's going through, everything that he's in heaven right now. Like I said, heaven and hell could be looked at as a condition. It's not necessarily a place where you go to, like it's a condition. Wherever you're at in your life right now, that represents whether or not you're in heaven or hell. So if you're living lavish, you feel like you're living good, that's heaven for you. But if you're going through pain, struggle, suffering, systematic oppression, racism, and all this stuff towards your people, that's hell. So this rich man represents Esau, or the white man, so-called white man, whatever we want to say. And Lazarus, he represents Israelites. But it says there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. Those sores represent what you call it? Like I said, the pain we're going through. We're going through hell right now. We're going through like many scars, many things that have happened to our people, slavery, a lot of stuff that's happened to our people. But just to kind of prove how Lazarus represents Israel, let's go to this real quick. So it says right here, Lazarus, whom God helps, a form of the Hebrew name Eleazar, an inhabitant of Bethany, beloved by Christ and raised from the dead by him, a very poor and wretched person to whom Yahweh shall refer to in Luke. And let's break down the word even more. Go to the Hebrew origin. So Eleazar equals God has helped, the high priest, son of Aaron, having a son. Okay, one of David's a Levite. A Levite. That's an Israelite. A Levite is from the tribe of Levi, which are one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Right here, helper Eleazar, the name of 7 Israelites. So this is basically the context of an Israelite. How Israel, they're going through pain right now. They're going through these sores. They're going through hell. So this is the context of the rich man being the Gentiles or the enemies, being Esau, while Lazarus being Israel. So it says, in desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table, moreover the dogs came and licked his sores. Okay, this, because my first time reading this, I didn't really understand. But after a while, you realize how this connects to precepts. You realize how this connects to the precepts. And Yahweh, the way he writes this word is so good. This word is just beautiful, man. Yahweh, the way he writes this, like, hold on. Because this sounds familiar. Like, just read it. I'm gonna read it again. This sounds very familiar, right? In desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Let's go to Matthew 15. Matthew 15. Bring up the red letter again. Starts at verse 26, right here. Just read, look. So this, first of all, this is the verse that cuts anybody who believes that Christ did not come for Israel only, because he says right here that he came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, something like that. But that's not the point. Verse 26, but he answered, Yahushua answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. So in this context, just to give you the context, a woman of Canaan, a woman of another nation, someone who was not an Israelite, a non-Israelite, or I would say a Gentile. I'm just gonna say a Gentile. A Gentile, but even though people may say that, oh, Gentiles can receive salvation too, that's a whole nother video for another day. But a Gentile, a wicked Gentile, basically her daughter was grievously vexed with a devil. Her daughter had a demon in her, and she came to Christ because she wanted Christ to heal her daughter from that demon. But he was like, nah, I'm not going to deal with you, because he said right here, I'm basically just to paraphrase it. He said, I'm not going to take the salvation of my people. The children are the Israelites. The bread is salvation. He's saying, I'm not going to take the salvation of Israel and give it to you. And the dogs represent the other people, the Gentiles that don't receive the salvation, the wicked heathen. That's who he's talking about. Which could also represent Esau. So he's saying that I'm not going to sit here and cast what's called this children's bread, this salvation, to the dogs. And verse 27 is the point. She said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. It's so beautiful, dog. Like when I found this out, because it clicked automatically, because I read this verse so many times. I read this verse so many times, but as soon as I went to that and saw that, I was like, yeah, that's a clear, that's clear as day, clear as day. So for one, in this context, the salvation, or the quote unquote heaven, is being granted to Israel, while the Gentiles are the ones who is trying to get something, or get these crumbs, or they're going to be the ones who eat these crumbs from our table. The master's table represents the Israelites, and basically, like, God and his people, they're the ones who are the masters. And the dogs, and even in the context of Luke, the dogs still represent the Gentiles, but they get crumbs this time. They get crumbs, and we have the bread. But let's go back though, because this is so beautiful. Look, he said, and desiring to be fed with crumbs, which fell from the rich man's table. And moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. So this saying that the dogs, the Gentiles, or the enemy, or whatever, they basically came to, in a sense, help us. They help Lazarus, or the Israelites, and try to heal his sores a little bit. Licking the sores are basically like just little things that they use to help us. Like those are our crumbs, basically. Our crumbs are basically refund checks, stimulus checks, and maybe like food stamps. Just little things that may help us just get by in the world. They try to give us certain holidays. They gave us Juneteenth, like that really mattered. It's a lot of little things that they try to give to us to make us still feel important in the world when we're still in captivity. But basically, these dogs, these Gentiles, they're on top right now. They're at this rich man's table, basically making fun of us. And basically, in a sense, I'm not saying pampering, but they're kind of just giving us little crumbs. But this is a testament. This is a testament. This is why this is so powerful. This is a testament to how there's going to be a reverse of the curse. And it's going to be, I'm going to show you how in this chapter right here, it talks about that. It's going to be a reverse of the curse. That's how the end times are. In the end times, because right now, like I said, right now, the Israelites are people, which are the blacks, so-called blacks, African Americans, Hispanics, and natives. We are in captivity right now. We are in hell right now. We're going through so much right now. These sores, the pain we're going through in this earth, the oppression, the racism, we're going through all that right now. But in the future, when Yahweh returns, he's going to lift up that curse off of us and reverse it. And that's a karma statement. That showed you karma, because that's Revelation 13:10. Let me go to that real quick. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So the justice that we're gonna get, because we're never getting justice as long as we're on this earth, and Yahweh shall not return. We're not getting justice, no matter how many people may go to jail because they killed somebody. Like, we're not getting justice. That's not justice. That's not justice. Because it says, because according to the Bible, if you kill somebody, you must be killed. So when somebody dies, when you see a white man or a white cop gun down a black man, that's not justice. A life for time, because you're still alive. For one, you're still alive, and you still have the ability to breathe. You took a man's life. That's not justice. According to the Bible, if you kill somebody by the sword, you must be killed. And that goes back to Deuteronomy, I think it's 30, if I remember, talking about how basically to the saints or to the Israelites, if the people or these Gentiles, if they bless you, they'll be blessed. If they curse you, they'll be cursed. And throughout the entire history of the earth, we've been cursed and we've been done wrong by these people so many times, so many different ways. So that's going to be a reverse of the curse. Where since we were in captivity, we're going to turn around and do the same thing back to them. That's how good God is in terms of justice, him being just, him being fair. Y'all really think that, you're going to live in the earth where you're benefiting from your people's transgressions in the past? You're going to benefit from your father's iniquity, and then you're just going to go to heaven and it'd be easy peasy? No. That's even Isaiah 45 verse 21. We're going to prepare slaughter for the children for the iniquity of their fathers. All this stuff, it combines and lets you know exactly what's about to happen in the end. This is like an end time prophecy. That's what this is. This is an end time prophecy of what's going to happen when Yahweh returns. But let's continue though. But it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. So Abraham's bosom is not hell. Because for one, if we're already going through hell, if the Israelites are already going through hell, why are we going to hell again? If you just, like I said, understand the context. If you understand the context, if we are already going through hell on this earth, why would God send us to hell again? Especially if we were doing good. Because like I said, going back to, that's only if we do good though. I'm gonna say that. Because when you go back to I think it was in Luke, when it was talking about the resurrection, he's going to resurrect the good people first, the ones who was doing good, and their judgment is going to be life. They're going to receive a good judgment. But the wicked people, they'll receive the damnation, the destruction, basically. That hell that's coming on this earth, they're receiving that. And I'm going to continue to expound on this. But after they died, this once again is saying that they both died. This referring to their resurrection. They both are dead. They're going to be resurrected. Then after they're resurrected, they're going to live out their judgment. But it says, and in hell, he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. This talking about heaven. The fact that we're basically in heaven right now. And plus, even if you think about Abraham, through Abraham's seed, that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's seed, that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's seed line is the righteous seed line, which has the Israelites. So, like I said, if the Israelites do good while on this earth, and basically if they endure to the end and keep his commandments, they'll be blessed. They'll be in this bosom, living out their righteous judgment. But it's saying right here that the rich man is in hell right now. He's in hell, and his his eyes, he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off. And look, it says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. So basically, while they're in captivity right now, or while they're going through this hell right now, they're trying to, in a sense, receive some type of mercy. They're trying to get out of it. They don't want to. They don't want to endure they don't want to endure their judgment. They don't want to go through it because of the fact that they feel like they deserve something better than that. But while they were on this earth, they've been in heaven. Y'all been striving on this earth. Y'all rule the earth. The earth was given to y'all to rule. Y'all time, y'all had y'all time. Now it's our time. Simple as that. So guys, he's not going to give you any slack. No slack at all. He's not going to cut you. No, you're going to have to endure through your pain, through hell. The hell that we going through forever, for not even forever, but the hell that we going through on this earth, y'all got to go through it too. If y'all don't, then God, he's a liar. Because of the fact that he promised to lead y'all into captivity and to do what has been done to us, to y'all. This is prophecy right here. Let's continue though. Where is it at? But verse 24, okay, he cried and said, Father, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I'm tormented in this flame. So, for one, once again, that's another thing too. Y'all say that hell is somewhere you're at forever, and you're really separated from God. So, for one, how is he doing all these things while in hell? How is he communicating while in hell? He's having all these thoughts, basically, on trying to get Lazarus to save him, or to, in a sense, I guess, spare him from this captivity. But if you look up, let's go there real quick. Hold up. Go to Ecclesiastes. Matter of fact, let me go to the ESV version. Because people that want to talk about Sheol and how you're going to be in Sheol or hell forever. Let's see the characteristics of Sheol. Not characteristics, but the qualities and the description of like what Sheol really is. Hold up. Let's read about Sheol. The ESV. So it reads, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there is no work or thoughts or knowledge or wisdom in Sheol to which you are going. So hold up. How is, because a thought is basically words that's like, words that are not spoken, basically. And plus knowledge, how do you have the knowledge of him, of seeing where Abraham was? How did he know to look up and see where Abraham was? If in Sheol you can't do that. Just look at it. In Sheol, there's no work or thought or knowledge or wisdom at all. That's why it says, whatever you find your hands to do, do it with your might. Because you won't be able to even, function properly in Sheol while you're in hell. So if you're in hell, burning forever, have flames all around you and everything, you're the lake of fire and brimstone, and you got flames all in your face, all in your eyes. How is the rich man talking and able to do all this and hold a full conversation with Abraham and try to talk to Abraham, say a full sentence to Abraham if he's in hell? That doesn't make any sense. Which lets you know that this is not literal. This is a parable and also a prophecy. A parabolic prophecy, if that makes sense. Is that a word, parabolic? A parabola? Not parabola. But it's a parable and a prophecy, basically. A prophesied parable, however you want to say it. But let's go to Luke real quick. Hold up. Oh no, we're in Luke. I'm sorry, we're in Luke. But either way, does this right here contradict that then? if this is real, if this is actual hell or whatever, doesn't this contradict this when it says that you shouldn't be able to do anything in hell at all? You won't be able to think, you won't be able to move through it, you won't be able to do anything with your hands or speak or communicate. But okay, let's even get another verse that talks about some of the what else you can't really do while in Sheol. Psalm 6 and 5, right here. Where is that? For in death there is no remembrance of you. In Sheol, who will give you praise? So no one will even remember you. So if the rich man is in Sheol, first of all, how does Abraham even remember who he is? You know what I'm saying? Like in Sheol, there is no remembrance of that person. So how is Abraham even having a conversation with them right now if there's no remembrance of him? Like y'all gotta really think when y'all be saying things. This is a whole cut on that doctrine that hell, heaven and hell is no. But let me read verse 25 though, and then I'm gonna end it off on this note. But it says, but Abraham said, son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things. So he's talking to what's called Esau, basically. Because from Abraham's seed, because Esau did come from Abraham's seed. Y'all got to keep that in mind too. Esau did come from Abraham's seed. But he's telling Esau, basically, or whoever it may be, somebody, the rich man, that in your lifetime, while you were in heaven, you receive good things. Then it says, likewise, Lazarus, evil things, saying that the Israelites, they went through hell. They went through captivity. They went through all these bad things. But let's continue. It says, but now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. So right now, as it says right here, as of right now, this is speaking of right now. As of right now, Esau is going through a lifetime of just receiving good things while we're going through hell. But in the future, when Yahweh returns, Lazarus, which are the Israelites will be comforted. We'll go through heaven while Esau and the Edomites and everybody else who's wicked, they'll go through hell. Simple as that. All praises to Yahweh Yahweh. This whole lesson was very beautiful because of the fact that it just first of all it debunks what heaven and hell really is to people. A lot of people think that heaven and hell, once again, is a place you go to forever, but we already debunked that already. Throughout this whole video, we debunked that whole ideology. And also, I'm giving y'all prophecy of what's to come in the future through this parable. This rich man and Lazarus is a parable. Christ himself said he spoke in parables so that we can, because we're the only ones who are going to understand this. We are the only ones who's going to understand this. That's why he spoke in parables. Let me find that verse real quick where he said he spoke in parables. I'm going to find that verse real quick. Salakia. I'm going to find that verse real quick. Where's it at? Matthew 13. Matthew 13, because he explains exactly why he speaks in parables. Go to the red letter. So in the Slakia, the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So he's saying that when it comes down to these parables, it's meant for only his people to know the mysteries of Yahweh. We're the only ones who understand it. He gave us the spirit to understand these things. He didn't give it to anybody else. Because to the Edomites, quote unquote white people, they won't understand these things. They won't. So when a white person picks up a book, or not pick up a book, when they pick up the Bible, they need to put it down. They need to. Because this is not their word. this is not meant for them at all. They're not going to sit here and continue to take things from us and make it yours. This one thing, there is one thing, I'm gonna say this, there is one thing that you can't take away from us at all, and that's God's love to us. That's factual. There are many things throughout history that quote unquote white people have taken from us: our land, our culture, our language, our style, our swag, our food, our customs, our freedom, our rights. They took a lot of stuff from us. Our children, they took a lot of things from us. But the one thing you can't take from us is the love that God had, the love that Yahweh has for us. You can't take that from us at all. It's going to stand forever. And with that being said, all praises to Yahweh. All praises. I want to end this video right here. Hopefully y'all got edified through the Spirit. Hopefully y'all got edified through the Spirit. This video was a very, very just, not this video, but this lesson. It's probably one of my favorite lessons that I just did, because of the fact that, like I said, I read Matthew 15, that story so many times, and the fact that it connects to our salvation. And it also connects to this whole karmic statement of how we're going to be the ones who turn around and receive heaven, while we see the other people that put us in captivity, that did wrong to us throughout history, they're going to receive their judgment. So Judgment Day, just to give a recap, heaven and hell are conditions in terms of what's going to happen to you in your life. Also, heaven and hell can represent judgment in terms of whether you receive a good judgment and you being in heaven, or have a heaven-based life in terms of, like, you know, living lavish, basically, not really going through pain anymore. And hell represents that bad judgment. When you get, like I said, that resurrection, I talked about that resurrection. When you get resurrected, you either receive a good judgment or a bad judgment. That depends on the works that you did. And let me see if I can find that verse real quick. Hold up. Let me see if I can find that verse. Let me see. Where's that verse at? Shalak. Where's it at? I think there's a verse that says he will like judges by our works. And I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that verse real quick. And then when I find that verse, there we go. Revelation 20 and 12. Share my screen one more time. Revelation 20. Right here. And I saw the dead and small and great stand before Yahweh, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which are written in the books according to their works. So, for one, what is works? Works of the commandment. And once again, faith without works is dead. And those works are works of whether or not you kept the commandments or not. Simple as that. And it says, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and the death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So basically, when it comes down, this talking about that also talks about the resurrection. So when you're resurrected, you will receive your judgment. Whether or not that be a good judgment, you'll have that lake of fire be cast on you, or you're going to be in heaven in terms of placing the captivity on the other people. Simple as that. So one thing that I would suggest to people, because I'm gonna make a video on this in a minute to talk about the law and how we can be saved by it and everything. But I would suggest to people to stay focused on God's word, and also make sure y'all keep his commandments. I know it may be tough, it may be rough, it may be kind of like, difficult, but it's not impossible to keep God's laws. It's not. Because right now, like, the laws, it's not written in our hearts. We're still under the old covenant. I'm gonna make a video on that too. I'm gonna make a video on how we're still under the old covenant. Because the new covenant haven't even happened just yet. Because if it did, matter of fact, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that for the video that I'm gonna make about that. But until then, I advise people to really keep God's laws. Keep God's laws, keep his commandments, stay prayed in his word, stay up in your spirits. Even though for Israelites mainly specifically, even though we're going through captivity right now, we are going to be blessed in the future. Even though we're going through captivity right now, if you keep his commandments, you'll be blessed in the future. And with that, shalom, peace. Hopefully y'all, enjoy y'all day. Hopefully y'all enjoy your Sabbath. Y'all did have a Sabbath. And yeah, shalom.